In the shadows of the early morning, when the world seems to hold its breath, the echo of conflict resonates from a land far away. A war, the Ukraine War, has been unleashed, a conflict that has not only ravaged the lives of Ukrainians, but has sent shockwaves around the globe. The Ukraine War, a conflict that has been painted with the broad strokes of tragedy and loss, but also with the intricate details of racial bias and double standards. The Western media, in its coverage of the crisis, has often emphasized the suffering of the predominantly white Ukrainians, while the plight of people of color in the war-torn country has been downplayed. This racial framing not only reflects a poor understanding of history, but also underscores the complicity of global leadership in the conflict. Indeed, the global crisis of racism and xenophobia is interconnected with the violence in Ukraine and the rise of autocratic leaders. The ripple effects of this war have reached far beyond Ukraine's borders. Thousands of miles away, in the lush archipelago of Indonesia, the tremors of this distant war are being felt. Indonesia's economic growth is expected to slow down due to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. This war has wreaked havoc with commodity and energy prices, sparking fears of a global recession. The worst-hit sectors are energy, commodities, and food imports. The disruption of wheat production due to the conflict in Ukraine has affected Indonesia's food sector and contributed to higher inflation. The personal rivalry between President Joe Biden and Vladimir Putin has intensified in the backdrop of this conflict. During Biden's visit to Europe, missiles struck Lviv, Ukraine, disrupting the relative calm of the city. Biden's view of Putin has grown increasingly negative, his language sharper. This visit underscored the unsettled atmosphere in Europe due to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Despite the breakthroughs achieved during the visit, Biden acknowledged that the meeting in Brussels was unlikely to change Putin's course in the near term. In summary, the Ukraine war is not just a conflict contained within the borders of one country. It is a global crisis that has highlighted racial biases, impacted economies thousands of miles away, and intensified personal rivalries. It is a war that has tested the unity of allies and requires a long fight ahead. The Ukraine war is a grim reminder that in this interconnected world, a conflict in one corner can echo across the globe, affecting us all.